How you train plays a pivotal role in transforming your physique. We're going to talk about what your training plan needs to look like to maximize your time, effort, and your results. All right, let's get started. A popular question we get asked is, what's the best training split? Now, the awesome thing about training is there's so many different ways to organize your workouts that suits your goals, preferences, and your schedule. Some of our favorite training splits are full body. So this is where we train our whole body every time we go into the gym. This is really good for beginners or people who are time poor because we essentially hit every muscle group every time we go into the gym. The next one is a push-pull leg split. So this one is really popular. So it's when we go into the gym and do pushing movements on one day, so more like chest, shoulders, and tricep movements. Then we go into the gym the next day, do pulling movements where we're doing back, biceps, rear delts. And then the next day we go into the gym and we're doing leg movements. So this is a great way to split things up over the week, give our body enough time to recover. And if you're somebody who wants to go into the gym and maybe add a couple of more workouts into your week, you can actually add an upper and or a lower movement to your training split and get in those 4 to 5 sessions. So speaking of upper lower, it's actually a great split to orchestrate your workouts as well. So this is where we go into the gym and we do our upper body. Then the next time we go into that gym, we do our lower body. Now, this is where you could get 4 to 5 workouts a week into your training schedule if you wanted to. You could do 3 as well. You would just have to decide, are you gonna do upper, lower, upper, or lower, upper, lower? Or you might do upper, lower, and maybe full body. This is a really good way to train, especially for people who want to centralize work in specific regions of their body. So if you're a female, for example, you might want to do a few more lower sessions than uppers. If you're a male, maybe you want to do more uppers than lowers. Now, the final one we're going to speak of is called body part blitzing, or as people call it, bro splitting. So this is where we do centralized work on muscle groups in our training sessions. So we might do chest and triceps one day, then we might do back and biceps the next, then we might do quads and calves, then shoulders, then hamstrings and calves again. So this is a really effective way to spread your training out over a week. If you're somebody who wants to go to the gym, say 4 to 6 times, it's also a really good way to train if you do want to centralize a little bit of focus in specific muscle groups for whatever reason. Either you want to build some more muscle in those particular areas, or you want to hold on to that muscle tissue that you've just recently built now that you're going into a cut. So now, whatever training split you select, we need to make sure there's some fundamental principles within each of those programs to ensure that you're getting the best out of your training. So each program needs to be specific, individualized, progressive, and measurable. If we lack one of these elements in our training program, we're missing out on the opportunity to get key results, and we're essentially wasting our time in the gym. Now, this next tip that we're going to talk about is paramount to taking your results to the next level, and that is to train with the intention of building muscle and strength at all times. Now, the reason for this is programs that are designed to build muscle are really good at retaining muscle. So this isn't just advantageous for people who want to put on a bit of size, it's also advantageous for people who maybe are in a calorie deficit who want to hold on to their muscle tissue. Now, we spoke about every program having a progressive element to it. So this leans into that idea of trying to go into the gym and be as strong as we can. We want strength to be the focal point of the program because we essentially don't want to see a major drop off in strength performance over the time of the program. It means that we're under recovering. It could mean that we're overtraining. It could mean that the training sequence is ineffective, and all of these things give us really good ideas on how to make changes to optimize your training and recovery. The other consideration is if we're getting weaker, we potentially could be losing muscle, and we don't want to lose the muscle that we've worked so hard to get. Okay, so last stop, and I know the thought has crossed your mind, what about cardio? The best plan to transform your physique involves a combination of resistance training and cardio. But let's not get it twisted. Our weight training should still be the focal point of our training program. Cardio is just a really nice addition to it. Now, when it comes to cardio, there's some really common questions that we receive, like, does the timing of the cardio matter? The answer is not really, if it means getting the cardio in at all. So we want to make sure that we're doing the cardio any time of the day that fits our schedule. Now, if you ask us, is there a better time to do your cardio? It would be post-training or on the days off when you don't have any structured weight training workouts. Another question we get is, does the type of cardio matter? There are 3 major types of cardio activity. High intensity interval training. This is where we do bouts of high activity followed by periods of rest. This is really time efficient, burns a lot of energy in a shorter period of time. Good for those people who are time poor, who still want to add some cardio into their day. Now, obviously it's very energetically taxing, so we have to take that into consideration when putting it into somebody's training plan. So the next one is moderate intensity steady states. This is where we do a little bit more continuous work at about a 6 out of 10 RPE for a longer duration of time. So it's not super intense, but it's not very low intense as well. It's somewhere in the middle, which means we have to do it for a longer period of time than something like HIIT. It definitely doesn't have the same degree of effort and fatiguing elements to it, but it does have a little bit of an interference effect with our weight training. So we still need to consider that when putting it into the training plan. And the last one is low intensity steady state, which is essentially low intensity movement like walking, cycling at a really low RPE for a really long sustained period of time. So obviously this has the lowest energy demand, so it's not very fatiguing, but it takes the most amount of time. Now the differences in the above mechanisms play no advantage or disadvantage over one or the other when it comes to transforming your physique. The goal is to pick a method that sits well with your preferences, your schedule, and your goals, and allow you to essentially be consistent and ensure that you actually do your cardio. By now you should have a good idea of the major components of how to transform your physique, maximizing your time, effort, and your results. If there are any questions that you have or things that we didn't address in the video, we'd love to see them in the comments section. And if you're somebody who wants to transform their physique but maybe still isn't sure where to start, hit the link in the description and get yourself a copy of our free body transformation guide that not only goes over all of the training variables and actually has programs there for you guys to start working out right now, but it also has nutrition and data tracking and everything that you need to start getting results week 1.